are forced to listen. International institutions are forced to pay attention. The world begin to ask questions. That is why we must keep when we talk about keeping the memory of this statue, it is more than important that we keep the memory alive. No matter what anybody is saying, it doesn't matter how you feel or what you think. We must keep the memory of the sit-at-home alive. We must keep the memory alive wherever you are. And I thank you, that many Biafrans are doing the needful. The Monday sit-at-home to us became a weekly reminder that unresolved political grievance still exists. You see why it is important to keep that memory alive. To many of us, those of us who are in this journey, genuinely, Monday sit-at-home have become a weekly reminder that there is unresolved political grievance that still exists. We actually know that not everybody that supports it, not everybody that is in line with it, and people are entitled to their opinion, including Biafra, some of them. You are entitled to whatever decision or your opinion you have. And we know that not everyone agrees with the strategy. But the most important thing is that, is the strategy working? Was there anything that was achieved through that strategy? If you deny it, you are a liar. If you deny it, that the civil disobedience did not make him part, the Monday civil disobedience did not make him part, if you deny it, you are a liar. You are lying to yourself. We know that some business owners complain about economic hardship. Some citizens fear insecurity. Some believe it should end. Others believe it remains necessary as a form of civil pressure. We have the differences, we know. But every one of us do agree that freedom doesn't come cheap. Nobody will hand you freedom in a platter of gold. It requires sacrifice. And this is one of those sacrifices that we have to make. And many people have been making that sacrifice today for more than 4 years. And they're still going on. And we are ready to go on until our voice is heard. These debates are normal in every political movement. The debates are normal. Some people will agree, some will not agree. Some will say yes, some will say no. You are entitled to your opinion. But at the same time, when you sit back, you calculate and see the plus and minus, then you know where to follow. It's not something you fight over. There is one thing nobody can deny. One thing nobody can deny, no matter where you belong. The issue of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu remains in international conversation because supporters continue to speak, organize, protest, keep public attention alive. This is the only reason Nigerian government cannot sweep the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu under the carpet. If not for what we are doing and what the Biafran people are doing, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu would have been gone for long. But the pressure from Biafran people, as we continue to speak, as we continue to organize, as we continue to protest across the world, we keep public attention alive. That is the reality that you can never deny. It is this our noise making that made the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu be on the front line today. Even in the case of Christian genocide, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case is in the front. And I bet you, we can't stop. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. That is why Nigerian government is introducing different kinds of confusions. They introduce different kinds of methods, bring different kinds of people to push them into the discourse, to confuse us. And some people are very, very confused. They have brought many people over and they are speaking from both sides of their mouth. But I bet you, no matter who you are going to pay the price when the time comes. Now, let us talk about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu himself, because today is his day. Today can be called as Mazi Nnamdi Kanu Day. That is how some of us identify it. Some of us call Monday Mazi Nnamdi Kanu Day. To us, the supporters of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, he is seen as a political figure, advocating for self-determination and the rights of the Igbo people and the Biafrans entirely. Other groups who feel marginalized. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not just for the Igbos. It's not just for the Biafrans. Not even just for Africans. Not just for black race. For everyone that is oppressed across the world. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu stands for humanity. Whether one supports him or not, there is a larger principle here. Whether you support Mazi Nnamdi Kanu or you don't support him, there is a larger principle here. The principle of fair legal process, political dialogue, and peaceful resolution of national disputes. Many people continue to call for the release of our supreme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu because they believe political problem requires political solution, not endless confrontation. And as you and I know, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu today is a political prisoner. That's what he is. So that is why we don't have problem with people who are calling for political solution or whatever. They go ahead and call it. But those of us who are in this struggle, we focus on the pressure. And that was the area Mazi Simon Ekpa was playing a role. Pressure. The lawyers have their own duty to do in the court, which they have been doing very well. The lawyers have been doing excellently well. They have won his case in 4 courts in Nigeria. Abia State Court, Enugu State Court, and the High Court. Won his case in Kenya. Arbitrary Committee of United Nations also delivered their own verdict to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu release. So what else are you waiting for? The only thing that is remaining is that massive pressure that will turn the hand of the enemies to let him go. Many people continue to call for his release, and we will continue to do so. Because we believe that political problem requires political solution, not endless confrontation. And this is where international attention becomes very important. That is when you talk about this political solution. If you focus only in Nigeria policies and politicians, they are evil. So the hand of political solution extends internationally. That is why we must continue to mount this pressure. And this is why we are even speaking on the case of Mazi Simon Ekpa about international intervention. Because when you limit the issue on a political issue, you limit it to the states, they will never have a change. They will never have a change. You need an external pressure. The same way we need external pressure in Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and we are getting external pressure, we need some external pressure against Finland on the case of Mazi Simon Ekpa. Because Finland did injustice to the case of Mazi Simon Ekpa. The prosecutor of his case refused to admit any evidence against Nigerian government. We have thousands of evidence provided by Mazi Simon Ekpa and the one that we provided from ourselves. But the prosecutor refused to admit any. Instead, focus on a concocted evidence from Nigeria. Fake evidence. A country of particular concern. A country who their documents, even their passport, is not valued in so many countries of the world. Yet, they gave you a very critical information against your citizen and you take it. It is questionable. And that is why we are advocating for people to support the idea to get an international lawyer for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to make sure that his case is made internationally to put pressure and focus to create intervention through their external affairs minister, through the United Nations, through the EU, and the United States to put pressure to respect the rights of our Prime Minister, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Very, very important. And I thank you, that the group is doing that already. So all you need to do is to sort out the group. Their links are everywhere. Go and make your contribution to that lawyer to make sure that Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoku is properly represented the way Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is being represented today. Because in the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, I can bet you Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is properly represented. His lawyers are doing very well. International contacts are doing very well. Every people are rallying around. We need to do the same thing for the disciple. Government respond when the global community begins asking difficult questions. That is why it is important we keep this pressure. Throughout history, international pressure has played major role in resolving political conflict around the world. International pressure. Government respond when global community begins asking difficult questions, just like they are asking today. Just like they are asking today. And what prompts these questions we are hearing today is because of what we are doing online and offline. The Biafra people, we are on the front line. We don't keep silent. We don't allow their atrocities to hide. We expose even their false flag. And because of those pressure, we have people across the world doing their own. You see our sister in Canada doing his own part there. Some other people doing their own part. That was like a Canadian court declared political parties in Nigeria as terrorist organizations. Nigeria, country of political concern. Recently, they have also been enlisted again in one of the terrorist countries you can ever think about. And all this attention was brought to them because of what we do and what we say. Because of it is not just saying a word, calculated and constructive information with facts. Fact-based information, not to come online and shout and attack your brother and sister, call people name. No, that's not what they're here for. Give facts and evidence and let them go and verify. Human rights organizations respond when citizens continue raising awareness peacefully. When you continue to raise awareness peacefully, the human rights organizations will respond. They will respond. That is why we must keep the pressure. No matter what happens, don't get tired. Keep the pressure, maintain it. Media institutions respond when stories refuse to disappear. You see, the reason is important. That is why every day I come online 2 times, 3 times, whether I'm tired or I will continue to keep my own part. It will not leak from my side. The weakness will not come from my end. Because when you continue to put those words forward, when you continue to create that image there, let me tell you, media institutions respond when stories refuse to disappear. You know, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Mazi Nnamdi predicted at the time we come, when the global media will report our case without paying them. It happened. It happened at the time of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Every media house began to report about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Some of them begin to send him interview, and he declined most of them. Media houses begin to report because we refuse to allow our story disappear. That is why it is important to keep the memory of the Sidatum alive. We must refuse to allow it to disappear, because the more you continue to do that, media will not have any choice. Just like when Mazi Nnamdi was here. At a point in time, even Nigerian media, everyone, the chief of army staff came online and he was crying and shouting, why did the media allow Mazi Nnamdi to take over the media? Our prime minister took over the media. All the media houses were reporting without paying, without anything. They didn't pay a dime. But it is not like that today, because some of us have deviated. All we come to online today is to gossip. All we come online is to fight ourselves and destroy our own image by ourselves. So Nigerian government don't have any work to do anymore. They are not worried because we are busy doing the fight for them. This is why supporters, every one of us, continue saying, do not allow the memory to die. It is because of this we are shouting every day and saying we must not allow the memory of the civil disobedient sit-at-home to die. It must be in their face. Every Monday, write sit at home. Every Monday, write it, project it, and say it. Share it. It doesn't matter. Nobody is being forced. There are people who have the conviction from their heart that are still participating till tomorrow, and they will continue to participate. It is about you. It's not even about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It's about your safety and security. You see, today, Fulani has taken charge today. Fulani today are busy operating in our land without fear. It is no longer like the way it used to be. The kidnap have gotten to a different level. Every blessed day, they are upgrading. They are upgrading. They upgrade. They are not even afraid. They are upgrading, kidnapping innocent citizens and demanding for ransom. We are even lucky in Biafra that it has not gotten to that stage, but it is fast coming. It is fast coming. That mass kidnapping is fast coming. They have been able to conquer the north. They conquered the southwest. In southwest today, they kidnapped in 3 schools in Oyo State. They have finished with Kwara. They have finished with Kwara. They enter Oyo State. Oyo State, 3 schools kidnapped. I'm going to play the video. You see where people are crying and confessing and asking for help from the government. People they kidnap. This is why we must not keep silent. We must continue to talk and speak to draw attention of international communities. We must not allow the memory of the sit-at-home to die. Remember, when the Liberation Army was there, our broadcasts and our messages made these people afraid. They dare not cross. But today, the Fulani are conducting attacks everywhere. Look at where Imo State for 4 people. Futo, they went and conducted an attack there. We must not allow the memory to die. Because once people stop talking, the issue disappears from international focus. The moment we stop remembering this one day sit at home, the information will disappear in international focus. It will disappear from international focus. We must keep it in the front line. It must continue to trend. Every Monday, they must come see Monday sit at home when they come online to see. And they will know that, oh, these people are still sitting at home. Oh, these people are still observing the civil disobedience. Oh, these people are still asking for the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Oh, these people, they are still asking for self-determination. We must keep that memory alive. Any way you can keep that message going. Every one of us must not agree with it. If you don't agree with it, we don't have a problem with you. But those that agree, continue to keep it alive. It is a sacrifice that you have chosen. Do it and go ahead with it. Now, let us also address the issue surrounding our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa Njoku. Simon Ekpa Njoku remains one of the most controversial voices connected to the Biafran discussion today. I use the word controversial because of the way even some of us at Biafran misunderstand his message. But today, many of them have realized that he was on the right path. And I bet you, so many people are going to cry. In the near future, people are going to cry. If Mazi Simon Ekpa didn't join us August, in the near future, people are going to cry, and I know. They will cry. Already people are getting calls, and already people are already sending message. Oh, they are in our village. Oh, they have taken over. Oh, tell the Liberation Army to come. Which Liberation Army? The one you sabotage? Which Liberation Army? The one you sabotage? Is that the one you're calling? Sorry to disappoint you. Mazi Simon Ekpa is a defender of movement and a voice. Continuing agitation after the detention of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. After the decision of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Mazi Simon Ekpa became the powerhouse that kept the movement alive. And I ask people something. Don't you ask yourself, why is it that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was not attacked by these disgruntled clowns that call themselves DOS? Why is it that they were not attacking Mazi Nnamdi Kanu when Mazi Simon was there? Why? All their focus then were channeled on Mazi Simon Ekpa. And some of them will pretend and say, I love Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, I hate Mazi Simon. Anybody that you say says that, know that that person is not fighting for Biafra. Any Biafran that tells you that he loves Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and hates Mazi Simon Ekpa is not serious. He's not in the struggle. This is the truth. The person is not in the struggle. They can continue to pretend, but just a question of just wait. In a short while, you will understand where they belong. All these people today that are attacking Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, where did they start? They started with, oh, Mazi Simon Ekpa, he's not doing it well. He's too angry. Mazi Simon Ekpa, he's this, calling his name. That same name they called Mazi Simon Ekpa, and they were pushing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to join them. Hey, castigate him. Detach yourself from Mazi Simon Ekpa. He's this. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu never altered a single word. He ignored them. And today, Mazi Simon Ekpa is in detention. And they have now seen an open gate to attack Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The same thing they were saying about Mazi Simon Ekpa before is what they are saying about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu today. The same thing, the same accusation, the same propaganda is what they are launching to a man who is serving life sentence because of them. A man serving life sentence. The only thing a woman who claimed to be an Igbo woman leader will do is to come and begin to shred his family into pieces. Bring his wife on social media to blackmail him. Lie against him and continue to call him names. I really appreciate To Hanson in VOP for the kind of question he asked that woman. Those questions he gave to those women was very, very revealing. If you have not watched that video, please go back and watch that video. It's in my platform here. Go back and watch that video. I analyze it, and I'm going to try again and post the full video itself on this platform. Because that's once after watching that interview, you don't have to have a double thought on how to deal with that woman. The people that criticize Mazi Simon Ekpa, they say that he's escalating tension. That was the accusation the Nigerian government brought against him. They accuse him of escalating tension. And since Mazi Simon Ekpa was detained to today, has the tension in Nigeria reduced? A question. Has the tension reduced since they kidnapped Mazi Simon Ekpa? Since they succeeded using Finland authorities to take Mazi Simon Ekpa away from the picture, has the tension reduced? Has things become better? Governments and international observers have also expressed concern over rhetorics to unrest and insecurity in the southeast. The same thing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was being charged for. Go to the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It was what he said. They said he was instigating violence. Because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was educating his people. Because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was telling his people to defend themselves, protect themselves. That was the same message Mazi Simon Ekpa preached. And you and I know that self-defense is not a crime. Self-defense is supported by international law, supported by African Peoples and Human Rights Law, supported by Nigerian law itself. But I don't know why when things come to the case of the Biafran people, more especially the black race, a different standard is being applied. That even today, some people will come out and tell you that Mazi Simon Ekpa was instigating violence for asking his people to defend themselves. Why the double standard? Why the double standard? Simply because the only message Mazi Nnamdi Kanu had was to make sure that people are protected. Thousands and millions of Biafra have been murdered in cold blood with no protection, with nobody defending. It came to a time in his own regime, he said, no, it's not going to happen. You must learn to defend yourself. It is your right. That is the only crime he committed. But regardless of all this opinion they have against Mazi Simon Ekpa, one important fact remains. No matter what you think about Mazi Simon Ekpa or Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, there is one important fact that remains. Every individual deserves fair legal treatment. Every individual regards fair legal treatment, evidence-based accusation, and due process under the law. Why is it that the Finland authorities did not follow due process in the case of Mazi Simon Ekpa? Why has Finland refused to follow due process in the case of Mazi Simon Ekpa? Because he's a black man. Because he's a Biafra. You refuse to admit his evidence against his accusers. The prosecutor refused to accept any evidence against his accusers. And who are his accusers? A terrorist government terrorizing its citizens. A government that we know, that a competent court in Canada have said that their ruling parties are terrorist organizations. A country we know that is recruiting terrorists into their military. A country that is recruiting terrorists into their police. A country that is negotiating with terrorists, paying them dues, and sending them abroad. And yet, Finland did not deem it fit to allow Mazi Simon Ekpa to present his evidence. The prosecutor blocked it. They abused his right simply because nobody was there to speak on his behalf. And we believe by August 5th, it will be a different ballgame. Coming August, it will definitely be a different ballgame because every individual deserves fair legal treatment, evidence-based accusation, and due process under the law. That is all we ask. We're not asking for pity. We're not asking for any clemency. We are asking for things to be done right. Let the rights of our Prime Minister be respected. In democratic society, allegations must be investigated properly. You don't just take information that we're given. Investigate allegation properly. That is what is done in democratic society. And innocence or guilty must be determined through lawful judicial process, not only through media. Not only through media, narrative, propaganda, and political pressure. Like in the case of Mazi Simon Ekpa and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Most of the things they are accusing them is based on media narrative. Nigerian government used the media to create the narrative, push the propaganda, and then apply their political pressure on whoever they want to twist to their own side. And that is what they play every day. And this brings us to another major point of today's discussion. The issue of propaganda and blackmail. This issue of propaganda and blackmail is very, very, that is what is in the front line today. Today, as we speak. That is the